We are back. The Bronx Collaborative High School students are on a mission, armed with New York City's abundant resources and a passion for uncovering real-world challenges. At BXCHS, learning is not confined to textbooks and lectures. It's actually an immersive experience. Students delve into technology, multimedia, honing their skills, and mastering the art of critical evaluation. Joining us now, a special education teacher at Bronx Collaborative High School. We got Erykeffany Jimenez, and then we've also got the founding principal, Dr. Schneider. And thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
You know, I wish I had this going up. You know, it sounds like school is really, really fun, and at the same time, an opportunity for some real active engagement.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we really are passionate about the fact that it's a family and a family that's trying to learn together. Right. Students are academic detectives. We create opportunities for them to learn and induce a lot of ideas while they're investigating things and not be led to conclusions we want them to lead to, but to be critical thinkers, to take leadership roles, not tomorrow, but today while they're still in high school.
Right. And Dr. Brett, you'd have to admit that some of it's a little bit out of the box. It's not as traditional as what we would see in normal school.
Yeah, super out of the box. And that's part of the goal. I mean, I think, you know, public education can thrive, and part of what we're about is proving that you can have high quality experiences in a public high school by choosing some of the best teachers that are really engaged with what they do and having a close-knit family, alumni, current students. We're proud of the fact that members of the class of 2017 have come back now as teachers, as our parent coordinator, and so we really have this circle of Bronx students leading next generation of Bronx students together. A bunch of us grew up in the Bronx and really wanted this when we were in high school and didn't have it.
I see Erykeffany over there shaking her head.
No, absolutely. And we see even the world of education transitioning from standardized testing and what used to be traditional education, because we have removed the weight from all these assessments that really were not able to show what a student learned or not.
Right.
And we also can't confuse, as you mentioned, that it's fun, but also there is rigor. And as a special education teacher, one of the things that I love about Bronx Collaborative is that we are able to adapt to diverse learning needs, but also maintain the rigor and the same access to career and college opportunities, so that it doesn't matter how you learn, you can still succeed.
Right. So for yourself, how do you change your methods to really reach students?
It just depends on what they need, right? Some students are more visual. Some students need more executive functioning skills that are able to just help them succeed. So we just meet them where they're at, because I could definitely say that in Bronx Collaborative, what we want to ensure is that every student just feels seen and valued and heard, and we just want to make sure that we don't fit them all into one group, one box. It's just like, what works for you, let's adapt for you, and let's make sure that you know how to succeed when you leave us also, so that you know what you need and advocate for your own needs.
Big thing for a lot of students is extracurricular activities, athletics. Talk to me about that at school.
Sure. Well, with us, you get this great combo because we're on a shared campus. So we have over 30 sports teams. We have a pool and a football field, baseball field, etc. So you get the big school experience, but with a small school level of attention, because we keep ourselves under 500, and so you have a really close-knit family of teachers and students who the teachers themselves have about 30 extracurricular clubs that are wide-ranging from martial arts to chess. Our team just went to nationals, 4th place in nationals. So you get like this really cool experience that sort of much like on television, right? Like when you think of like what's a fun TV high school kind of vibe, it's like we are able to bring together that warm feeling, like there's a small cast of characters, but a big feel. And so that's like kind of a beautiful thing, because often schools sometimes end up cramped in places, and for us it's spacious, it's warm, and you get sort of the best of everything.
Absolutely.
Erykeffany, give me a little bit about your students when you talk about the embrace of having this new methodology, right? Having this new form of learning. And from your perspective, obviously as a teacher, you do a great job of wrapping around, right, and putting your hands around them. But for them, on the other side, the receptivity and saying, hey, the buy-in, we'll use the word the buy-in.
Absolutely, and I think the proof is in seeing how families continue to bring their children to us, because their students and their children are able to relate back to them of the support that they receive at Bronx Collab. They're able to just explain and I guess, promote even the experience, right?
Right.
If parents didn't feel supported, if families didn't feel supported, we wouldn't have 4 siblings we've had at a time
Yeah.
of the same family, coming to us in order to do that. And receptivity, like I have students that graduated 5-7 years ago that still text me for Mother's Day, that still say, like, Ms. J, it was good to have you, and it was good to have the support that you received. And that's not only what you get with me in Bronx Collab, that's what you get with every teacher there. We take our recruitment also and our hiring very seriously to ensure that it is diverse, that they are about the children, that is focused on student learning and student needs. We have different races, different religions, different cultures represented, so that also these students are able to see themselves in the classroom and feel empowered by that.
Yeah, Dr. Brett, when you talk about students coming back, and so there's some I should say students who graduate from school never want to reach back to a teacher. I'm done, I'm out. But you have this family and this cohort that seems to continue to. So for you, if I had to ask, what's the secret sauce? How do you, what would you describe as the secret sauce for Bronx Collab?
I mean, I appreciate you asking that. I think the real simple sauce is treating students like human beings. The dignity piece cannot be replaced or replicated. Students know that they have absolute access and privilege. With me, I will give them everything that I have as part of a resource to support them as they grow. And students can sense when their teachers love them, when their administration loves them, when it's a family atmosphere. I've heard principals share, once the moment kids are graduated, they're done with them. I've heard people use that phrase, and it breaks my heart because I don't see how you could totally educate people well without being part of the same family, the same community as them. I grew up in the Bronx. To me, anything that I have is by the grace of what people shared with me. And so, people once asked, oh, do you want your students calling you Dr. Schneider? I'm like, personally, I don't care, but I want them to know that just like as a kid from the Bronx, I could go and get a doctorate and learn and become a community leader, they can too, and that we already see them that way. I start by saying to parents and students, you're a public intellectual. Our goal is just to give you the skills and support to have the best practices so that you can walk anywhere in this world and express yourself and be heard.
Yeah. Now, should I say Miss J, Erykeffany? Which
My students call me Ms. J.
Okay.
As you could see, is probably struggle with my first name, but whatever feels comfortable.
No, we'll say with Erykeffany.
Okay.
Miss J.
You're doing pretty well.
I'm doing good, right?
We were actually here 6 years ago, and there was a struggle with my name.
Well, look, I
I'm
come
happy.
for redemption. Right, there it is. Listen, exposure. Honestly,
Yes.
what I think that the bottom line is when we talk about what goes on is that your students get a level of exposure that really is a difference maker, right? That allows them the opportunity to have college readiness, that allows them non-traditional methods. And these things are really starting to make a difference when we see the turnaround in, test scores and in attendance and the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. So, and speaking about exposure, we want to also speak about our new opportunities that we have in Bronx Collaborative. We have a new teacher and social work training track where they are able to take education courses and social work courses in public policy, teaching methods, and they're able to delve into that realm with internship opportunities, working with real organizations, and all that helps them in building their capacity, right? In building and identifying what they're able to do. What was the other thing that we
Well,
were
it's part of the city. The city has recognized us as one of the schools in the Future Ready program. So those two tracks that Ms. J just mentioned lead to pre-certification, graduating high school, ready to work in your first job in social work or teaching, and collaborations to try to make the undergrad and graduate process as free as possible and as closely connected where you started everything in high school, and that you can confidently have a balance of working and getting a higher education.
So going from being the founding principal to now seeing where you are today, what's that feeling like, seeing the fact that, I know there had to be this question mark how's this going to work out, but now to be here today.
It's amazing. I mean, last week when we had to celebrate the New Decision Day, we had some of our alumni come in, and seeing the members of the class of 2017 who have now finished grad school, going from some students who are very like sweet and young and mild mannered, now grown up with their spouses and their tattoos and their own like building of a family life and thinking about, you know, almost, you know, it hits you deep, yeah. Because it's like you see somebody who came in as a 14-year-old trying to figure out what they wanted to do, maybe dealing with some traumas to overcome, and then you see somebody thriving, right, in their mid-20s and telling you what their vision is in just casual ways. Right. You know, we have multiple students that went into nursing, for example. One was talking about becoming a nurse practitioner. Somebody else, when we were saying, "Are you going to do that?" and they're like, No, I want to go into durable medical equipment. That's where the money. It's like adorable watching fully grown adults come out of you know.
This year we actually had a student graduate from Johns Hopkins to be a diplomat.
Really?
And so we just see just the fruits of of what we put into our students and how we support them, and it's a wonderful feeling.
So someone out there's like, okay, you sold me. How do I get in now?
So really, it's just about applying. The high school admissions app lets people list 12 schools, putting us at the top of your list, right? Like,
Raises your
does
right.
right?
Yeah,
Does
you know. Then so that's like for people applying in future years. We also have made space on our current wait list because we've added new programs. The Department of Ed supported us with the Future Ready. They've also approved us for the unique virtual learning space so that we can conduct night and evening classes online in addition to our day classes for students that have attendance issues. So really, people can just go on to the high school applications website, put us on a current wait list if they want to join us in September, or if they're thinking about joining us in September of 2025, we'll be visiting middle schools for the next few months, and they can list us in December of 24. So
And
either now
that
or
would be
later.
on My School's website,
Okay.
where they would also add us to their application.
Awesome. Dr. Brett, great to have you.
Thank you so much.
Ms. J, thank you so much. Come
Pleasure
back
is
again.
mine.
Thank you.
Thank
Alrighty.
you.
Now listen, if you want more information, go ahead, visit the website, bxchs.org, and we encourage you. Check it out. Don't go anywhere. We got more open coming up.